Open Coaching Friday. Terry Lamb inside of the Time Freedom team. I'm excited to be here. Let's have some fun today. Few questions already came in. I will answer those live. If you have something, let's talk about it, because I'll tell you what, I'm getting busy and I'm also moving away from getting busy, if that makes sense, as an entrepreneur. We'll talk about some business stuff today in terms of some things I'm doing and what I'm thinking here. Certainly answer some questions that already came in, and I'll talk to you instead of dictating to you. Ann, how are you? Ann says, hey. So I'll be a little bit more social with you on Open Coaching Friday. And this is something that I really like doing this. I'm really excited about it. And I think this is, let's talk about something. Let's just get right into why I'm doing this. I've made a 7-day-a-week schedule, and someone said to me, isn't that a pretty hefty schedule? Well, it is in a sense, but on the other side of it's 15 minutes a day. If I could bring 1,000 people in, that's my initial step goal. I want to bring 1,000 people into the group here. If I'm doing $27 a month, that's $27,000 a month. That begins to make my life and my job a lot easier, because I can focus a lot more on the group, and the group can be the jumping off point. Remember, I've said this to you before, that if, it's kind of like from my mentor, this is a foundational online business concept, especially if you're building some sort of team of people, which most of these opportunities are exactly that. It's the idea that if what you're doing duplicates and it works, but makes more work for you, you shouldn't do it. So, what I'm doing can duplicate. I can help other people duplicate in their business, and it's not any more work for me. There could be one person on here, no people on here, or 1 million views over the next 6 months of this video. It's not any more work for me. So that's why I'm willing to do it. And this is the kind of stuff that you could also be willing to do in your business. So I'm going to log into the group. I'll share my screen. A couple questions came in. We'll knock those right out. If you're here and you've got some questions, bring it up. You could even call me on Skype. Don't randomly do that, because I got it shut off right now. Call me on Skype and I could bring you into the live, and we could have a live conversation if you want to do that. I'm open to that. There's no time limit on this per se. The moment I see any sort of, there's no more questions, I'm out. It's Friday. I'm doing my thing. Got a couple things I already kind of want to share with you. I got some things on my desk here that I'm going to share with you, because people have been asking me. So give me a second. Let me pull up my browser. We'll log into the group and I'll look at a question. And of course, if you got something, I'm here to help you. 25 years of experience. There's nothing I haven't done. There's nothing I wouldn't do to give you some guidance and bring you up to speed. I feel like I'm up to speed in my business in terms of what I'm doing. I really need to minimize a couple things here. So stand by. When you run this live software, Ecamm, you can have a lot of things open on your computer at once. I'm going to come back to our group here. And I believe it was James that asked the question. So let's dig into what James had to say here. It's interesting. It shows me live twice in the group. I think it's because I made it an announcement. Okay, so let me pull this up here. I'll share my screen with you, and I'll see if I can actually zoom in so you can see these a little bit better. So stand by. Let me do a little browser zoom in. Wow, it's severely delayed when I do that. So I think, let me just kind of look at, there's a little bit of a delay. So basically James come in and said, will you please shoot a quick video around your office? Your lighting is always perfect. Now, here's my question to you. Do you feel like it's perfect right now? I can actually come back to the camera here. Do you feel like This is pretty solid, pretty clear, pretty perfect. James also has another question. All right, I'll answer that one coming up here. But so, do you feel like, James, that this is indicative of what you would want on your end in terms of video and lighting and so on and so forth? Maybe not with me in it, right? But conceptually, the lighting is pretty good, I think. Good skin tone, so on and so forth. There's some very simple things that I do. It's taken me a long time to figure this out. It truly is simplicity. It is absolutely simplicity. A few things go a long way towards maybe making this happen, but I don't even need to shoot a video around my office. So literally when I tell you, and I'll show you some things, I'll just give you the example right now. I have a couple windows in my office that if I open them up, I've got shades drawn over them. If I open them up, it's way too light, right? So there's a bunch of different factors. I have a light in front of me, literally on that angle. I'm pointing up at it. It's about 5-6 feet away, and it's a soft box. It's one light. Now, what's interesting, I'll share my screen with you on this one here. What's interesting is that I went out and bought a kit. In fact, the one I bought is actually this one, I believe. I bought a lighting kit, and here's where it's going to get kind of funny, okay? So these are soft boxes, and the bulbs that come with them typically are not the best bulbs. They're a little yellowish. They're cheaper. This one, I believe, actually comes with the right bulbs. I'll have to look, but I'm going to show you the right bulb. So it's a combination of just showering yourself with a soft box. It's funny because when I first bought these, I thought I had to have one on the left and one on the right, and then this one with the weight on it is supposed to be off to the side, but shining down over your head. Oh my God, little too much. Now, if you're in a really, 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 really dark area, I've actually never tried this. I could turn the lights off in the room here. There's one tiny little ceiling light which has a yellowish hue right up over top of the light. It doesn't really add much. Really, one of the biggest things that worked for me in the beginning was having natural light. If I turn to the right in my office, I have a huge picture window and there's a desk in front of it. I used to open that picture. I used to open the shades, put the camera right up against the window, and that's actually really great lighting. But the combination, there's several different combinations of what I'm doing here to make this right. I'm using one of these 3 soft boxes. I'm using, excuse me, I got a little bit of a cough and something going on today, but if you've known me for any amount of time, you know that that's been going on for months now. So I don't use the bulb that comes, and it comes with this. They said photo light bulb. There's my phone ringing. Let's turn the ringer off on that. Photo light bulb, it says 135 watt, 550K daylight. That is too low. I'm going to show you the bulb here. I got it open in the next screen. In fact, let's take a look at this thing. You get a sense of it, okay? This is the bulb. This was really the key for me. Look how it really messes up the lighting when I lift up that white piece in the video. Now, that's also something I control. We'll talk about that. I'll show you the camera. I'll show you the light settings. That's kind of key also. But this bulb is an 85 watt. It's a PB85, but it's 6500K. I think that means Kelvin. All right, but 6500K. When you buy one of these light kits, you usually get like a 5500K. 6500K was really, really the key. It's just something about the soft box and the 6500K light. I'll show you again. You can see it's taller than my head. It's really big. I bought like 3 of them. Come to find out, they're only $17 a piece. Come to find out, only needed one. That whole double lighting thing and light over your head, it was just overkill. It was just way too much. All I ever needed was one. So, if you can go out and buy one soft box, it literally is the key. I know people are using these makeup lights. Basically, it's kind of like a round light, and you put the camera in the middle. There's some. It's a little bit kind of like it's a little bit too clear light, I should say. Like this is really soft, this particular lighting. So let me come back to the screen here. The light, you can see it on Amazon here. It's the E-Top Lighting for Photography 6500K continuous light bulb, 85 watt PB85. If you need a link, let me know. But I did the search for it here. PB85, 120V, 120 volt. So it's really good. That's the key. However, let's come back here. Another really, really big deal key is I upgraded to the Logitech Brio 4K camera. The one before that, in fact, I think I can actually... No, I'm not. I don't think I'm plugged in anymore. I had the Logitech C920, and it was close, but it just wasn't the clarity that this is. So, softbox... Okay, and I've got it up at literally about I don't know, what is that? Maybe a 15-degree angle, right? And it's kind of coming down on me. So if there are any shadows, like I can see a shadow down behind me, but it doesn't put a shadow back on the wall. So it's that you get it. It's up higher and it's angled down at me. So you literally can't really see any shadows. Maybe you can see one there when I go back farther, right? But I'm just enough away from the wall. Now I also have a white background, and I have, a photo that is pretty kind of a light colored photo. That helps a little bit, right? James says I have the C920. Yeah, I upgraded to the Logitech Brio. When I originally started doing, if you go all the way back to some of my first live videos, I had the C920. I believe with the same lighting system. I think at first I wasn't even using the softbox. I would just kind of like opening up some shades and setting it right. But, the ultimate is really this softbox. And what's interesting, here's what's really exciting for me. I shit you not. Not to lean on this so much, but do you know how... I don't think anybody's ever asked me what my video settings were. And when people start asking you what your video settings are, you fucking nailed it. So I appreciate you asking me that. And a lot of people said, oh my God, your videos has great clarity, so on and so forth. You can see I haven't shaved today. So I really appreciate that. Like I've arrived with that. The only other thing I've thought about adding to the background, and I'm not going to be able to think of the word right now, damn it. I've talked about this in another video. Oh, it's just basically a backdrop. I'm going to go over to Google here and type in, what do you call it? I think they're calling it, is it just a cloth? Let me try this here. Cloth video backdrop. Yeah, I've seen some of these. So let me actually let me just go to one of these and share it with you here. So, if you got I have a decent background, right? I'm not even saying I'm like 100% happy with it, but it works. It's not too distracting. It's not, I really like the sets where it's like a bookshelf and stuff in the background. But let's look at this one a little closer. So it's a tapestry. That's right. So I couldn't think of the word. It's just a tapestry. And man, you can find these everywhere. There's some great ones. And this isn't just some sort of random search that I did, right? Let's do tapestry video backdrop. There are some companies out there that I thought there was some really cool ones. And there's a lot of videos on how to do it. It's not jumping out at me, the particular resource. Like, just hanging this up and having some bricks in the background can be powerful. Do some search around. And also, I'll bet you if we come back to the group here and do a search for tapestry. I actually did a video with, here you go. Let's see if I shared the link. rosegal.com. Let's go see if it's still there. I just really liked these. It's literally a cloth background. Okay. You can hang it up. In this particular one, they've got it like drooped down a little bit. But I really like that stuff. And boy, do they have a ton of them. I mean, look at some of these. This is pretty cool. waterfalls in the background. Brick is pretty good. I think I actually seen one of, let me think, it was like a bookshelf tapestry. Let's see if they have it here. Yeah, I mean, that's interesting. I kind of like that. Kind of like the bookshelf tapestry background. But it's, the idea of having a good, excuse me, a good solid background. Man, I hope I'm not losing my voice again. It's really going to piss me off. Plus, I just had lunch, so that tends to affect me when I'm sitting here talking. It's like get your camera. I like the Logitech Brio. Get your softbox. Get your 6500K light bulb at $17. If you're going to do this for a living, I mean, what are we talking? The Brio, the Logitech Brio camera is probably in the 300-400 range, but I'm gonna make millions with it, right? When I do my video ads and so on and so forth, and obviously live in the group here. So get your background taken care of, and then the background becomes not the point. The point is your content, right? I've seen some people doing live videos and the background's terrible and the lighting's terrible. It's key. Now here's the next thing inside of this. The next piece, I've got to cover all the pieces, right? It's not. I don't think it's just my light. It's a couple more pieces. I'm doing this on Ecamm on a Mac. Ecamm software is designed for a Mac. You could also do it on a PC with the Streamlabs OBS. That's actually free. But the lighting, the camera is key. And then I'm going to show you something here. Let's see if I can. Logitech, this doesn't, like when you get the Logitech camera, it's just the camera typically. Like you don't get any controls for it. So what I did was, let me share my screen with you here and I'll actually show you this. So I'm going to come to my launch pad. And I'm going to launch, I don't know if you can see this or not, but it doesn't matter. I'm going to launch my Logitech camera settings. It's probably not, oh, there it is. So I know it's going to look a little weird. Let me see if I can move this around the screen a little bit. Is it going to let me? Let's do this. So I can mess with the settings, and I do quite a bit. And let me show you some of the things I do. Now, you'll probably notice that I think it actually, by clicking this, it ends up zooming in on me and all this stuff. So I can go back to widescreen. That brings me back. That's typically my setting. And then there's different degrees field of view. So I can go like 78 degree field of view, 90, right? You get to see like a little bit more open. I'm using the 65 to 78. I think that's pretty good. Depends on your background, right? So it lets you do that. And then this plus in the upper right-hand corner, I can actually click this and then it messes up and then I can actually like go down and up. I can adjust that kind of stuff as opposed to adjusting my camera. Like I can adjust my head right out of the camera, right? You want to be able to, they don't even tell you that this is available, I think, typically. You have to go do some search. It's the Logitech Brio control panel. I really don't think it comes with the software or anything. You have to go out and find it. And then I zoom out just a little bit. So we'll leave it. Actually, I'll come in zoom in just a little bit. So I'll do it there. But also, check this out. In the upper right-hand corner, there is advanced. And this is something I have to mess with. This is where the real good color comes in. Because the camera itself, there's two things. It's autofocus and auto white balance. I typically turn that off. So I'm going to do it while we're sitting here. I'm going to turn that off. And I'm going to turn off the focus. And it tends to, I don't know if this will do this, but remember when I put this up earlier? Yeah, it still darkens the whole thing up. I thought that had to do with autofocus. But I typically turn that off so the settings aren't like going crazy if I'm coming in and out. So let me actually close that. And let's come back to the video here. See, I'm actually probably a little too close because I was messing with it. Let me pull it up again and do some final settings because that's not where I want it to be. So give me a second. You won't be able to see this. See how as soon as you open up the settings, it like goes to this automatic zoom in It's a little, and then of course my focus is, now it's probably going to get messed up that I'm doing this while we're live, right? So let me turn on the focus and auto bright and do one more setting here. I'm going to come back to widescreen and then 65 degree. That's about where I want it. But you got to play with that stuff. It's those little settings. If you just go with what's raw, if you don't have that Logitech Brio control or your camera controller, they actually, I know James, you said you have it for you have the C920. They actually have a controller for the C920, but it just wasn't as good as the one for the Brio. So I'm going to close that down and see if, yeah, it's about where I wanted to be. But you can see like it got a little bit blurry. You can change your skin tone and stuff. It's a little yellowish, a little too orange. You know, this is actually pretty good. So I don't want to lean too much on that, but hey, it's, you know, it's a kind of a long, this is a great thing to learn, right? If you want to be out there. So let me come back to the group and see if there are any. I know there are. See what the other questions were. Why don't I share my screen with you here so you can see what I'm seeing. Let's see, where was it at? I'm getting all jacked up here. There's the lives, and here's the one where I had some questions. Now, I'm not going to sit here and just ramble on about stuff. If you have some questions, and here's kind of the thing I forgot to say in the beginning. If you have some questions, you probably ought to hit me with it, because here's the deal. Moving forward, I'll come back here so you can see me. Moving forward, because this group is really going to grow. My initial step is 1,000 people. I'm not going to be able to, and I do a little bit of it right now. Like, you probably could get me one-on-one at any given time of the day or week and get some one-on-one help from me. I won't be able to do that. I don't really want to do that moving forward, because here's the thing. It's not actually valuable for you. As much as you think doing one-on-one working with you is valuable, it's not, because here's why. It teaches you the wrong thing to do. You can't scale up and get big by talking to individuals. It's a time trap. It's a time waster. So you will certainly hear me talk to you. I've thought a lot about this when I'm helping people. You will hear me talk to you different if you've known me for any amount of time, but it will be more helpful. I've got this whole thing planned out, okay? This is my passion. This is what I do. This is the dream life for me, to be able to, you know, sit here in my office all by myself, pants or no pants. You don't know. I actually have pants on today. But that doesn't matter. The point is that moving forward, I will say, you'd like some help? Show up on Open Coaching Friday. If you can't show up live, then ask some questions in my pre-Open Coaching Friday post, which is what I'll do, which is what we're looking at on the screen. So let's come back to the screen here. Let's see. James says, I'm struggling with mine. That was the camera thing. I have a nice ring light and all of that, but I can't seem to get it even, and my webcam likes to turn me orange. So it has to do with settings. It has to do, that ring light is probably not enough Kelvin. If you go look at how much Kelvin that ring light is pushing out, you'll probably see it's not very much. Zen also said, I was wondering the same, because I've tried it and yours is just perfect. You know you get it perfect, because there have been people on YouTube, I used to watch these videos and go, how the hell did you do that? Like, there's this thing called bokeh, which I don't do in my lives, but I'm actually set up to do it. I just haven't done it yet. I actually bought I bought a really nice kind of 42-inch bar level cocktail table, and I've got my my Canon EOS DSLR, which does bokeh, which means the background is blurred out. I really want to do something like that. And you can, what's cool is with the Ecamm Live software, which is about $80 that I'm using, you can plug in your DSLR camera and turn it into a webcam, and I've done that, and I've been playing with it. I just haven't moved to that, because you know what? On the other side of it, I also like ease of use. I hit the button. Here we are. We're live. So, let's see. Devin actually says something here. Not sure where I'll be and when, but my questions would be. She got a bunch of stuff here. I love it. My question is going to be, my question would be, is going live on YouTube a good idea, or just doing planned video is great enough? You know, Zen, you're looking for the secret. There isn't one. The answer is yes and yes. I really have to think about, is going live on YouTube a good idea? Yeah. Exposure, it's a good idea. Or just doing planned video. I think you mean like recording something, edit it, and upload it. Here's the thing. Someone had mentioned something earlier, and they said, let me come back to the camera while I'm talking about this, because Zen has a bunch of stuff she was talking about. We'll get to all that. I built my entire business off of free videos on YouTube. Would I suggest anyone ever do that? No. I didn't have the money nor the mindset to do advertising. If I were to go back, I'd take every last dollar I had, do a singular video, and pump every penny I had into it and get eyeballs to it, as opposed to doing a bunch of free videos. It was a struggle. I made it work because I'm a hustler, baby. I would advertise my phone number. I would get on conversations with people. I talked to some lady, I remember one time, 3 hours on the phone, ultimately trying to help her and get her to buy something. She never bought a goddamn thing. Hustle, 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 hustle. Who are you? As I get older, I'm not that person. That's too much work. When I was 28, 29, 32, 33, 38, shit, yeah, I'm on a phone all day so I can produce $150,000 a year in affiliate income. So it's more of do as I say, not as I did type of thing. Going live on YouTube is awesome. It's great exposure. But, there has to be, it's just going live to be live. If you don't have any money, then give it a shot. James says, my ring light is 5,500 Kelvin. There you go. I'm telling you, 5,500 was not enough. You got to go 6,500K on a light that's shining in on you. So Zen. Zen says, is going live on YouTube a good idea, or just doing planned video? I mean, it's all great. It certainly comes down to when I do video, I have a purpose for it. And I'm going to give you a cool little tip on something that I'm using right now for YouTube advertising, which makes my videos a little bit better. So I'm going to kind of read the rest of what Zen is saying here, because let's look at this as a big picture. She says, ideal time is about 8 minutes, ? No, there is no ideal time. Your prospect that likes what you're saying, and if you can formulate your video and do your video in a way that is engaging, it's practice, it's understanding, it's talking to prospects and getting a feel for them, it's doing stuff and seeing what sticks, really. I've actually heard that optimum time for a video on YouTube, max watch time, is anywhere from 1 to 3 minutes. That doesn't mean do 1 to 3 minute videos. That means get your hardest hitting shit out in about the first 1 to 3 minutes. Does that make sense? Zen says, should you do a video a day and see which one qualifies as a decent enough video to use as an ad? There is the concept of doing video and then buying exposure. And then there's the concept of doing a video which is an ad, which is intended to drive some sort of click or action, right? I would tell you this, where am I at right now in my career of doing this? I am doing videos that are specifically an ad. I shouldn't even say that in that sense. I literally will do a random, I'll just go live randomly. I shouldn't say live recording. I'm not live anywhere. I'm using this exact same software, same lighting, no different than what you're seeing me do right now live. However, I will just ramble on about a topic. I'll have a piece of paper I'll have some bullet points, and sometimes I'll pause, think about it, come back to the camera. I'll edit all that shit out. I'll put it up on YouTube as an unlisted, and then I'll go by, because I have what's called, and we're going to get a little technical here, I have what's called placement lists. You can have up to 200 placements. A placement is simply someone else's video URL on YouTube that you can run your video over top of. And I have a placement list, which is I called it Get Massive Exposure. It's my Get Massive Exposure list. It's just over the years I've built up these videos that I'm like, oh, this is highly popular and it's monetized, meaning I can run my video over top of it, right? So I do that. Will I share that with you? No. Will I share that list with you? No. I'd probably sell it to you for $10,000. But it's just something you build up over the years. I have a placement list where it's called Get Massive Exposure. I just get myself out there. If exposure, is valuable to you, and there could be some value in it, I'm moving a lot away from exposure to more just, certainly you need to expose yourself to people, but I'm just getting out there and I'm doing a video. I'm thinking about the content. We talked about this yesterday of how to say make money online without saying make money online. I think I referenced something like, how to augment and increase your paycheck, or maybe get rid of your weekly paycheck and be able to create your own paycheck on the internet. Aren't I just saying money, 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 money without saying it? I am. That's just something that, your creative juices have to get in and be able to do. Let me read the rest of what Zen has said here. She says, I've made the mistake of mentioning make money online as a category, but I'm getting comfortable about doing video. It's a process because it's me, but if I don't feel like I'm having fun with it, I just don't think it's going to be appealing. So can you do an evergreen video on location? No idea what you mean by on location. There is no one secret. I would tell you this. If I were to narrow down everything you're saying here, I certainly think it is about something we've already talked about, like what you see right here, having good lighting, being comfortable, having a conversation. I'm going to share something with you in a second here that has made my YouTube video ads a lot easier. It's basically I'll show you in a second. I don't want to jump into it yet. I'm going to dive into it in a minute here after I finish this. Yeah, Zen, it's basically, I would say your question, because I don't feel like I'm answering it, it's a little too generic, right? Going live just to go live, I hope you have some sort of plan, right? I hope you have some sort of call to action like I talked about, like flashing my phone up. Let me actually see if I have one of those ready, like flashing up this. Text the word funnel to the phone number on the screen. I'll give you access to what I've been talking about, that type of thing. Or this was actually one I used in the group. Text the word course to the phone number on the screen. It'll give you access to my recommended portal where you can get a course that's relevant to what it is you need to accomplish. You need to learn how to tell stories better? Probably a good idea. Go take one of their storytelling courses. Need to learn Google AdWords or Google AdWords for video? Go to that, text course, and the link that you get back, do a search for that. Do a search for Google AdWords for video training, Facebook training, whatever it is. You certainly got to get yourself educated about that. And Zen says, also, what's your guess? I love this one. Let me take this number off. What's your guess, or your best guess, why ringless voicemail responders have such a crap mindset? They did opt into something sometime to get on a lead list, right? They absolutely did. Here it comes. Everybody should probably sit down. Do not take what I'm about to tell you as some sort of opinionated bullshit, egotistical thing that Terry Lamb is saying out loud, but I'm just going to give you the fucking raw truth. People at large are very low-level intelligence. Not because they can't be smart, but because they have allowed the rear-view mirror of their life and government programming, I'll define both of those in a minute, to affect them. I almost comes to I was on a date a couple days ago, and I literally, it was so batshit crazy that I would be embarrassed to tell you what happened, what this person said in front of me, and what this person was doing. And I was like, you realize, let me see if I can paraphrase it. Are you ready? This is a little harsh. I was on a date with a really beautiful girl a couple days ago, and I could tell that something I was like, she doesn't know that she's that. She doesn't know that she's... I told her, I'm like, you could be a fucking Instagram model. You're fucking gorgeous. You're so... And I wasn't trying to blow smoke up her ass. She was freaking beautiful. And her photos on Facebook are just like, oh my God, you're so gorgeous. And I try not to lean too much on that, but this girl had like perfect facial structure, all this stuff. And I was like, do you like yourself? Nope. Do you love yourself? Nope. Why? Why don't you? And here's what batshit crazy fucking sounds like. She goes, my mom drug overdosed when I was a kid. And I tried to revive her. And I won't tell you the grotesque things she added to it, okay? It's just a little too much probably for this forum that we're in right now. And she says, and my mom died. And I was like, oh my God. But I'm listening to the story because it's not about how sad and horrible that is. It's about how she's now 25 years old, beautiful, and beauty goes a long way in the world, smart girl. But her entire life is defined by the fact that her mother was a drug addict. And you know what she told me? That most of her life has been about being into the drug scene because that's what her mother did. I'm like, you see how it turned out for your mom, right? And she's like, uh-huh. And I'm like, what? This girl's entire life, and almost every human being you run into, and you, is defined by your past. Not really, but you let your past define you. And you should hear, if I could play them for you, I would, but I get voicemails back from my ringless voicemail drops. I recently just fixed that. So it doesn't come to back to my ringless voicemail system anymore, or back to my text messaging system. I'm actually got it going to my Skype right now. And eventually, when I do ringless voicemail, I'm going to do no caller ID, so they can't call back. You got to go take the fucking action, right? Go to the web address that I told you to go to, and then say call me back. In fact, my most recent voicemail, I wonder if I can play it for you. I can probably read it to you. Listen to this one. Well, I'll just tell you this. Here's what I say at the beginning of my most recent voicemail that goes out. I say, no need to call me back. I'm just calling you to give you the web address that you were looking for. Like, you have to tell people. So the answer to, why are ringless voicemail responders such a crap mindset? Everyone is. Why do you think most internet marketers, like, look at Lewis Howes. He used to talk about doing webinars and all this stuff. Now all Lewis Howes talks about is motivational stuff, because that's the grass that the sheep eat. A meme posted to your Facebook profile twice a day on schedule is grass for sheep. If you want to sell a lot of shit, get the sheep in a group and sell it to them. I'm not being a jerk. That's the basic premise. Now, you probably shouldn't say it out loud like I do, but that's really what's going on, right? That's how it works. Don't be upset. You don't have to be a sheep. You don't have to eat the grass. I was once a sheep, or a sheeple. I ate grass. Now I eat steak, ice cream for dessert, and Captain Morgan 100 rum as a cocktail afterward. I don't have to eat the grass anymore, and you don't have to either. But I've often said this. Are you ready? It's going to be a little painful. Here it comes. And this is something I say to myself. My God, everybody is so stupid They're acting so stupid because they've allowed their past, and the part I didn't talk about, the government, go to school. Go to school. Line up. Get in line for lunch. Sit in your line of chairs. Put all the chairs in a line. Everybody's a robot. Oh, get out of line. You go to the principal's office. I spent most of my childhood in the principal's office and suspended. I did. Because I was like, no. Like, these rules are stupid. But I was the odd one out, and I didn't know it. I didn't know that it was actually a level of, here, I'll talk about myself. It was a level of intelligence, and I couldn't stand the stupidity. So if you want to learn how to sell a lot of stuff, you just need to learn how to sell stuff to people that are being stupid. They're not stupid. They're not really sheep. But if you don't understand how they work, you're in trouble. I wish I could quote, I actually think I played this. I kind of let it go, but I got like 4 or 5 voicemails yesterday where they were just dropping the F-bomb, stop calling my phone. And I'm like, what? Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll stop calling your phone. Like that's the torment of your life? Someone calling your phone, giving you a web address like me. I'm like, it's me calling. It's Terry. People called me back and called me by name. Maybe a mistake when I did my ringless voicemail thing, right? Maybe a mistake. But they called me back and called me by name. Terry, goddammit, quit calling me. I'm like, goddammit, take some action in your life. Like, you're so pissed off at the world, it's because you bought the programming. I just didn't. You're looking at a guy that didn't buy the programming. I didn't buy the programming. Didn't matter to me. Let's move on to see if there's any more questions in the group here. Renee says, how did she say this? Renee says, do I just start doing daily lives or videos for YouTube is what I'm thinking. I'm wondering why you're going back to that concept, right? What you should do, Renee, is you should pick one of the dozen things that you know you have access to promote, and you should create a video ad to promote it. Go over to YouTube. Everybody's like scared to fucking death of Facebook for whatever reason. If I'm on Facebook, I'm typically doing probably messenger ads. I'm using a video, and the call to action is to click the button and get on my messenger list, and or click the button and go over to a messenger landing page. That's basically what I'm doing on Facebook these days. When I'm on YouTube, I'm doing videos with my, I have something like this. If you like what I'm saying, go ahead and text the word funnel to the number on the screen, and get you, a link to whatever it is I've been talking about in this video, right? That's basically what I'm doing right now. But in terms of you just going live, should I do daily lives? I don't know. I don't think so. I mean, unless I did see somebody say, well, I've sent you all of my advertising dollars, so what do I do now? I'm like, I don't know. What should you do now? I think the only thing you can do is get out there and pick one thing and do it. Like, master YouTube videos and ads, YouTube ads, or master Facebook ads. And do it with a purpose in mind, which is what we call a call to action. Set something up. What do you want to sell? Go figure it out. Go keep talking about it and thinking about it and talking about it. I will admit, if I were to go back, if I started my online career now that we have live video and I didn't have any money for marketing, or I was too scared to spend money on marketing, I would be going live every day on a platform fucking talking. There's no doubt about it. Still have to have a call to action. Got to have a web address like followterry.com, which I still have not optimized for this new way to go. It's still linked to my old blog. But I would say go to followterry.com, or I would say call the phone number. I could just put the phone number up on the screen without the word funnel. I could say, hey, give me a call, send me a text, whatever, let's connect. Want to get into some of this stuff? Let's talk. I seen Alex Becker was live on YouTube today Looks like he talked for an hour or so, had 400 or 500 people on. Zach says, I've decided to master Facebook ads. Awesome. So that means you just shut off everything except Facebook ads. And, keep it simple. I'm really loving the Messenger ads. The reason I say that is because Messenger, it's good to build a list in a sense. I don't like the email list bullshit anymore. It's just so much work for so little return. But I'm seeing a 2 and 3x return, I should say engagement on Facebook Messenger, ManyChat, bot messages, building a list as opposed to email. I know that a lot of this is general advice stuff. It's not that complex. Put your life into it. Let me see if there's any other questions that were posed in the group. I don't see anything. However, let me refresh. Because I'm looking at the screen while it's let's see here. I don't see any question there. Now, let me look at the comments and see if there's any questions, and then I do have something I want to show you. If there's not, a few things are being said here, so give me a second. Then I'm going to show you a really cool app that I'm using for iPhone, and I'm not sure. I think it's probably available for Android. We'll see. Someone says, and I can't see because I can't see who you are because you haven't clicked the allow name and photo in my description on this live broadcast. Well, someone says, I'm on vacation, back on Monday. Is this now a weekly live? Friday, Open Coaching Friday, absolutely. And I'm running it loose. I did a post today and I said, hey, anybody got any questions? James chimed in. Zen said something. Renee said something. I'm going to probably do a pre-post every Friday. Or if there's questions, here's the best way to pose your question. Do it as a post. That way I can moderate it in the group. I don't have to approve it. I don't need to. I can answer it live. I'll approve it if we need to, if it's relevant. But probably the best way to ask a specific question on Open Coaching Friday is to do a post in the group. It's moderated. I'll see it. We can bring it on. I'll do a pre-post, most likely. You can ask a question in that pre-post like we did today. And then I'll schedule this. I schedule it about 30 minutes early. You got a heads up. I sent out a text. I sent out a Facebook message. And if you're someone, I could bring you on live right now. If you called me on Skype, we'd have to set that up real quick, click some buttons. But I can do that. Skype has been, ever since Microsoft bought Skype, it is jacked up. Literally, I'll call someone and the screen's just black, but we can hear each other. No video. Thanks, Microsoft, for screwing everything up. Let's see here. I'm looking at a few questions, things I've already seen. James says, Streamlabs OBS is what I use. It's solid. I have not messed with it yet. Maybe I'll throw some stuff at you when I get to that point, James. Let's see. James says this work with the bulb you showed. Any softbox, because it has those. It's still just a standard bulb end, but it just gets into this big freaking frame. James says, create video ad, buy eyeballs, make money. That's it. You got to have a CTA. You got to have a call to action. That's it. I'm telling you right now. I don't see anything else. We may cut this off short, although I've probably been talking, 49 minutes. I'm going to show you something on my screen here. And this is in relation to, I've been using this for video ads. I like to, I do my video ads two ways, off the cuff and then edit. I really kind of like that. It's just kind of free, but you got to be careful because I can't be too chatty in the front. I have to have a plan. So I typically will edit in some video where I'm using teleprompter. Now I do it in a weird way. I want to record with Ecamm. That's what we're doing right now. However, I do like the concept of a teleprompter. I've got a real teleprompter that I could put on the other side. It's so much work. I've got a teleprompter that fits right over top of my webcam. It sucks. What I'm about to show you is a really cool teleprompter. I'll share my screen here with you. This is Video Teleprompter Lite. I bought the Pro version for 16, 17 bucks. But what it allows you to do, here's an example if you can see this on the screen. It allows you to run your text, it's just a text file, right next to the camera. So if the camera lens is up here and you're reading off of your mobile phone, right? This makes it really, really easy. So it's like I said, 16, 17 bucks for the Pro version. I didn't use the free version because it puts a watermark. Basically says Teleprompter Lite or whatever on it. I don't like that. So I do a combination, this is a little weird, I do a combination of teleprompter stuff for about the first minute, and then I do off-the-cuff bullet point type stuff for the rest of my content. Because I might talk for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 minutes, whatever, I don't care. But I know for the first minute, I got to get my point out real quick. I don't like here's an interesting one. I've actually been trying this. Instead of the standard, hey guys, you go live, you're on a video, hey guys. I seen a guy do this and it really I'm constantly hearing, hey guys. I seen a guy do it today and he said this. Hi, how you doing? That's it. Hi. And then he went into his content. And although it seems weird to say it, when I saw it, I was like, oh, hi. Instead of, hey, guys, it was different. That's it. I'm going to lose my voice here. So the cool thing is you can do it horizontal and vertical. I like vertical video. I literally can do this. I can actually put, let me come back full screen here and show you. I can actually put my phone, I don't have it out here, but I can put it on a tripod and I can put it right below my camera. So you wouldn't be able to see it. Like actually this is right below the camera. You wouldn't be able to see it, but I'm literally almost looking right at it. So I will use, instead of me worrying about, I'm not actually recording with my phone, although that's what the app is intended for. I'll put it right in front of my webcam. And here's what's cool. On the Pro version, this is batshit crazy cool. You can control the speed of the teleprompter text with your keyboard connected to your mobile phone. Tell me that ain't cool. Now, I don't know if this is, let's actually do a search here. I don't know if teleprompter, let me think of what the search is I did for it. It's actually called Video Teleprompter Lite. So hold on. Video Teleprompter app. Let me see if it comes up for if it's for anything other than iOS. iPad. And let me actually do a search here and see if it comes up for Android. It probably will. Best teleprompter apps for Android. I mean, maybe this app isn't for Android. Maybe it's time for you to switch over to an iPhone so you can run your business. That's what I did. Video teleprompter for iOS. It may only be for iOS. I'm sure Android has some. Yeah, it looks like they do have some top 3 teleprompter apps for Android. But this one that I'm showing you here on the screen is specifically for iOS or Apple. So check this out. So I will run my teleprompter. Yeah, James says iOS only. I will run my teleprompter app. And here's the thing too. I can, and I have, just hold my phone up, use the teleprompter app. I literally just type it out in like a notepad or text file, and then it allows you to, copy and paste it in there, or upload it, things like that. I think you can do it they have all kinds of different, where you type your script at to pull it into the app. But I will do that, and it makes sure, not because I don't know what to say, it makes sure I get my very specific points taken care of. Like I recently did one without it, and I had to do a lot of editing and all this shit, and I probably could play it for you. I'm actually running it as an ad on YouTube, but I didn't like it, and I was like, you know what, I got to go that step further and get into the teleprompter concept, just so I can get my points across. And of course, you type it, you change the words, you edit it as you're reading it so it flows well. And I've got my hand on the keyboard here, so I'm literally using a teleprompter app, but I'm recording with Ecamm and my webcam. Get it? I'm not actually, I think I actually have done one where I hold up my mobile phone and, put it on a selfie stick or on a tripod or something. I'm literally sitting here at my desk and I do it that way. That can work really well, but I literally kind of like mesh it together with what I'm doing, put it up underneath my webcam, and I literally am just looking a little bit below the camera, just a little bit, and reading it. There's also ways for me to, with a tripod, to put it a little above the camera. I can actually bring it on the tripod and drop it down just a little bit, so I'm literally looking right at my webcam. So that's it. I believe I'm going to stop there. I think that's everything I wanted to show you today. If you have anything, hit me right now. Or moving forward, because this is going to grow, any sort of one-on-one coaching I do is always going to be through the group, preferably on Fridays. If we have to schedule it some other time and record it, and then I play it live on Fridays or play it as a recording on Friday, we can do that too. I think it's just more helpful to the group that way. I don't see anything else. If you got something, get prepared, leave it as a post, bring it to Open Coaching Friday, and I'm here for you. I believe that's it. There's something I could announce to you, but I'm going to wait until another live. Put it this way. If you've been watching the Mailbox Cash program, I actually went yesterday and bought myself a mailbox, through one of those mailbox companies. So that lets you know I'm getting ready to launch into it. So I like it. We'll see what happens. I'm either going to create my own group for it, or I'll just guide everybody over to the current group that's going on right now, and or just talk about those particular topics in this group. We'll see. So that's it. I will see you in the next live session. I believe tomorrow we are talking about, tomorrow Saturday, we're talking about what's going on in the industry. I typically pick someone out. What are they doing? Why are they doing it? Just kind of analyze it so you can see why other people are doing what they're doing, which may not be 100% apparent. So that's it. Appreciate you joining me today, and I'll see you in the next live session.